Gentlemen, gather around. As you hit a certain age, your perspective on life shifts. You begin to evaluate what's effective, what's not, and what you can no longer afford to squander time on. I'm here to outline 5 habits that, if you're still clinging to them, could be preventing you from becoming the man you're destined to be. Stay with me, because the final one, well, it's going to surprise you. Let's dive into the first habit you must steer clear of. I understand, aging brings changes. Our bodies don't function as they once did, and life doesn't always unfold as planned. It's tempting to fall into a pattern of grumbling about the pains, the shifts in culture, or the everyday irritations that come with growing older. But here's the reality. Grumbling doesn't improve anything. In fact, it does the opposite. When you're always venting, you're fixating on what's wrong, pouring energy into negatives instead of what could be fixed. I'm not suggesting you act like everything's flawless when it's not. That's not the goal. But endlessly griping, especially about things beyond your control, signals weakness, not power. The truth is, being a man is about resilience and fortitude. If you can't handle life's trials without constantly airing your frustrations, you're not displaying your true strength. Life isn't flawless, and it never will be. What you can control is how you respond. If you keep whining, you drain the energy of those around you, making yourself and others miserable. Instead, zero in on solutions. Focus on what you can improve and release what doesn't matter. If something irks you, take steps to address it or let it go. Don't stay trapped in a loop of complaints, because by now, you should know the only thing that truly helps is taking charge and making progress, even in small ways. Now, let's address something many older men still wrestle with: chasing approval from others. I've seen it up close, and I'll admit I've slipped into that trap myself at times. We all crave appreciation, acknowledgement, and respect. It's human nature. But constantly seeking approval, particularly from others, reveals insecurity and weakens the man you've spent your life building. When you were younger, seeking approval made sense. You were finding your identity, and sometimes you needed reassurance you were on the right path. But at this stage, your confidence should come from within. You've lived enough to know your principles, your worth, and your capabilities. If you're still chasing validation from family, friends, or worst of all, strangers on the internet, you're wasting your energy. Here's the thing, people will always have opinions. No matter what you do, someone will judge you, question your decisions, or try to dictate how you should live. But that's not their role, it's yours. You're not here to satisfy others. You're here to live true to yourself. The more you seek approval, the less you trust your own judgment. It's like handing your self-worth to someone else, and that's a risky move. The more you rely on others' opinions, the less you believe in yourself. So, as an older man, commit to stopping the search for external validation. You know who you are, what you want, and what you've earned. Start living for yourself. Own your choices, whether others approve or not. The only validation you need comes from within. When you stop chasing approval, you'll discover a freedom and confidence you never imagined possible. I'm not saying you should suppress your feelings. Not at all. Emotions are part of being human. And if you've lived as long as I have, you've experienced them all. Love, frustration, grief, happiness. But here's the issue. Letting your emotions steer your actions, especially at this age, shows immaturity, not strength. As a younger man, it's understandable. Emotions can overwhelm you while you're still learning. But as you age, you're expected to have honed some emotional maturity. That means mastering your emotional reactions and not letting them cloud your ability to think clearly and make sound choices. Consider this. When emotions drive your behavior, you risk impulsive decisions you'll later regret. You might snap at someone in anger or get worked up over things that, in the big picture, don't matter. That's not how a seasoned, wise man navigates life's challenges. A man with decades of experience should approach life with composure and perspective, even during tough times. I'm not saying to bury your feelings. That's unhealthy too. But there's a difference between recognizing your emotions and letting them dominate your life. The mature approach is to pause, breathe, and think before acting. Embrace your feelings, but don't let them dictate your behavior. As you age, Mastering this balance is crucial. Express yourself, but don't let emotional outbursts shape who you are or how others see you. Here's a tough one for some of us to accept: trying to chase youthful fads. Whether it's clothing, slang, or acting hip, many older men fall into the trap of trying to relive their youth. I get it. There's something appealing about feeling young, staying relevant, and not fading into the background as time passes. But here's the truth. Trying too hard to seem young only makes you appear older and insecure. We've all seen the guy in his 60s dressing like he's in his 20s, using trendy phrases, or posting filtered selfies like a teenager. It's cringeworthy, uncomfortable, and it doesn't fool anyone, not even yourself, no matter how much you convince yourself you're with it. The real secret is embracing your current stage of life, not resisting it. At this point, you don't need to prove anything to anyone. You don't need to pretend to be someone you're not. A man who knows himself doesn't chase fads. He creates his own path. It's important to stay connected to the world and not become completely out of touch. But there's a huge difference between staying current and desperately clinging to what you think others expect. You can still be fashionable, but do it in a way that reflects your age and experience. Find a classic style that suits you, one that showcases your wisdom and the life you've lived. The same applies to your mindset. Don't let a need to fit in push you to mimic younger generations. Your value lies in the experiences you've gained, not in pretending to be someone you're not. Be confident in who you are. A secure man doesn't chase trends. He lives authentically, and that's far more compelling than anything you can buy or copy from social media. Embrace your age, wear what fits you, live in the present, and take pride in the man you become. Now, this one might sting, but it needs to be said: don't depend on others, especially your spouse or relatives, for financial support in your later years. If you're in your 60s, 70s, or beyond, and still relying on others to cover your expenses, pay your rent, or sustain your lifestyle, you're missing a vital part of what it means to be a man. There's no shame in needing help during tough times. We all face setbacks. But if you're consistently leaning on others for financial support, something's gone astray. It's not just about money. It's about dignity, self-respect, and maintaining your sense of purpose. As men, we've always been expected to provide, to contribute to our own well-being and that of our families. It's part of our core identity. I know times have changed, and the cost of living can be brutal, and some face health or job challenges. But you must do everything possible to preserve your independence and self-reliance. Depending too much on others, especially financially, isn't just about the dollars. It's about the mindset and the message you're sending to yourself and those around you. When you rely on someone else for money, you're not just surrendering control of your life. You're also sacrificing your self-respect. You may start to feel like a burden, and worse, others may begin to see you that way too. It's a tough spot to be in. At some point, you need to realize that financial independence is one of the last things you can truly control. When you stop depending on others for your basic needs, you reclaim a sense of pride and self-worth that's irreplaceable. It doesn't matter if you're retired or on a fixed income. You must find ways to manage your money wisely, live within your means, and stay self-sufficient. If you're struggling, don't hesitate to seek guidance or explore ways to boost your income. There are plenty of side jobs, part-time opportunities, or even investments that can provide a buffer without leaving you dependent. I've seen many older men learn new skills or turn hobbies into income sources to maintain their independence. It might require sacrifice or change, but that's what being a man is about: adapting, growing, and taking responsibility for your financial future. Never forget this: a man who relies on others for financial survival surrenders his autonomy. That comes at a cost, and it's not just financial. It's about self-respect and the respect of those around you. As men, we're meant to be providers, protectors, and leaders in our own right. When you abandon that role, you diminish your own strength in your eyes and those of the people you care about. So make it a priority, whether you're retired or still working, to ensure you don't rely on anyone else to meet your financial needs. Take charge of your life, manage your finances with integrity, and remain the man who takes care of himself, no matter your age. There you have it, gentlemen, 5 habits to leave behind if you want to keep growing into the best version of yourself as an older man. These aren't just tips, they're essentials. Don't let age be an excuse to behave in ways that don't serve you or those around you. Embrace your experience, your resilience, and your ability to stand tall no matter what. If you've made it this far, thanks for sticking with me. Here's my parting thought. Life doesn't slow down as you age. It gets richer if you embrace it. Now go out there and be the man you were always meant to be.